I think it may officially be time, folks, and honestly, I don't know how much longer the Red Sox can wait. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Sea Radio. My name is Corbin, and thank you very much for clicking on this video. Look, the Red Sox, they're not doing well. We all know this, right? They lost another brutal game yesterday, and Red Sox fans have a whole lot of opinions on how they can change this Red Sox team. We talked about the outpour of comments on Alex Cora yesterday. Today, we're talking about another move that has been real popular in Red Sox Nation and something that could end up helping this team, and we're talking about Trevor Story. Before we get into the video, though, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that we are going to be live right here on this channel. Finally! We missed last week, so we're going to be live tonight, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be watching the Red Sox take on the Milwaukee Brewers, hopefully with some changes made. But either way, we will be here discussing the team, watching the team, a whole lot of Red Sox stuff right here live and in person. Again, that's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, right here on Red Sea Radio. Because coming into this season, there was a lot of hope put on Trevor Story. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to sit there and say, I didn't have hope on Trevor Story. He's been a bum since we got him. I'm talking more so in terms of the organization itself. The organization came into this season expecting Trevor Story to be a big part of what they are doing. They came into the season and he was healthier than ever. He had developed into somewhat of a leader in the clubhouse. There was pressure off of his bat with the addition of Bregman and the promotion of Christian Campbell. He was looking to be a big part of what the Red Sox were trying to do, right? There was a lot of emphasis put on Trevor Story's bat. It was a major reason why Craig Breslow this offseason stopped after he got Alex Bregman, right? He said they needed one right-handed bat because of Trevor Story, because of the promotion of Christian Campbell, because of the potential of a step forward offensively from, say, Don Rafaela. He was a major part of what this Red Sox offense was trying to look like. This season, he has been a big part of what the Red Sox are doing. It's probably not in the way that this front office, this management, and this fan base really expected it to be. Because this season, he has been one of the reasons why this Red Sox offense has been so up and down. And right now, he's one of the worst qualified hitters in the entire sport. And that isn't even based off of the eye test. There's statistical evidence to back that up. His on-base percentage is the 12th worst in Major League Baseball at 2.69. It is also the 9th worst in the American League. His slugging percentage is currently at 325, which is good for the 18th worst in the sport, actually just ahead of, say, Don Rafaela, which we may need to talk about soon as well, which has led to a 594 OPS, the 12th worst in the game, and a 66 OPS plus, 33% worse than your average producer at the plate, and once again, 12th worst in Major League Baseball. Not to mention, he has 64 strikeouts this season, which is the 4th most in the game, 2nd most in the AL, trailing only Riley Green, who has just one more strikeout than him. His walk percentage is at 4.6%, which is the 16th worst in the game. It quite literally does not matter which way you want to slice and dice Trevor Story's 2025 campaign offensively. It is not a good campaign, right? He is not a good hitter at the plate right now. In fact, the only thing that he is even above average in this season is his hard hit percentage. His hard hit percentage when he does make contact is about 47.1% of the contact he makes. That doesn't matter though when you aren't making enough contact for that to have an impact, right? When your batting average is sub 250 and you have the 2nd most strikeouts in the AL, obviously, the velocity in which you hit a baseball really isn't the problem here with Trevor Story's bat. He's just simply not making enough contact. But Trevor Story coming into the season wasn't only supposed to be a bigger bat than what he's been doing so far this year, or at the bare minimum, a more average bat than what he's doing so far this season. He was also supposed to impact the game in other ways. One thing he's doing really well in right now is his ability to impact the game on the base pass. In fact, that's been by far and away the strongest part of his game. He has a 100% stolen base percentage. He's, 3rd or 4th on the team, I believe, in stolen bases. He looks really good on the base pass, but you got to get on base to have an impact there. And then he was supposed to impact this team defensively. This has always been sort of his calling card, right? hey, Trevor Story struggling at the plate, but at least he's giving you good defense. At least he's still one of the best and most dynamic fielders in Major League Baseball. And that's sort of what we've been saying about Trevor Story in his tenure with the Boston Red Sox so far. However, this year, it's a bit of a different story because even his defense is faltering quite a bit. Taking a look at his metrics over there at shortstop, right now among qualified shortstop this season, guys who have played a majority of games this year, he is in the bottom 3 in all of Major League Baseball in fielding run value, which is essentially every single play you've made this season put into a numerical number that allows you to sort of say, okay, is this guy positively preventing runs or is he negatively preventing runs? Trevor Story comfortably negatively preventing runs so far. He's bottom 3 when it comes to his range. He's bottom 4 in outs above average, and he has 5 errors this season, which puts him in the top 12 in the entire sport when it comes to shortstops. So now, not only do the Red Sox have a guy in their lineup that can't do anything, they have a guy on the field right now who's sort of a black hole at shortstop. Both of those, not a very good combination for a team who's trying to get back on the right track, right? You're just simply not going to be able to find consistency both offensively and defensively if one of your main pieces, one of your biggest guys, is not producing on either side of the plate. So the question becomes, what do the Red Sox do here? In my opinion, the Red Sox really have 3 options here because I would normally say 4, but there is a 0.000000001% chance that the Red Sox are going to be able to trade this guy and get anything back, right? If you're going to do that, you might as well DFA him, which is the first choice the Boston Red Sox have. They have the option to say, look, we're just going to simply cut ties. We're going to let you go. We'll pay your salary to play for a different team, right? It's a really difficult decision for the Boston Red Sox right now because you just lost Alex Bregman and because this guy you put so much faith into to begin the season, but we've seen it before, right? Right around this time, all the way back in 2018, the Red Sox cut ties with Hanley Ramirez and they still went on to win a World Series. Now, that was a totally different team, obviously, and that was a totally different season, obviously, but that's sort of the caliber we're talking about, right? The Red Sox haven't been afraid to do it in the past. This is a difficult decision, but what it would allow you to do is it would allow you to put Marcelo Meyer over there at shortstop, a guy who has a lot of promise, a guy who's been hitting just about as well as Trevor Story's been hitting in his last 10 games in his first 3 games in Major League Baseball. It would at the bare minimum give you something to look forward to when you're watching these games, right? Watching Marcelo Meyer develop as the future shortstop of the Boston Red Sox. And on top of that, it would also allow you to do something even better. It would allow you to bring Ceddanne Rafaela into the infield. Where he goes on the infield, great question. He has some time over there at third base. I thought it was a ridiculous idea by Alex Cora when it was first mentioned, but turns out he has about 60 games over at third base throughout his minor league career as well. And then you could bring up Roman Anthony, right? Because the bare minimum, if we're going to watch a player struggle at the major league level, why not let it be your number 1 prospect in your system and the number 1 prospect in baseball and a guy who could impact this team for the next, 7, 8 years, hopefully? Right, at least the bare minimum, you're watching that guy develop at the major league level. You don't have to watch Trevor Story just continue to regress into basically nothing at the plate and basically a really bad fielder on the field, right? At least that gives you that option. So the DFA is the first option for Trevor Story, but like I said, that's a really tough decision for the Red Sox to make, especially for an ownership group that has been a little bit stingy when it comes to money lately. I don't know that they go that route. So outside of that, what else can they do? Well, the second thing they could do is they can move Trevor Story into a different position. We've talked about Christian Campbell learning first base, right? Eventually, it looks like he's going to take over that spot on a more permanent basis. Okay, the original thought process was we'll just put Marcelo Meyer at second base. Well, what about Trevor Story? Right, Trevor Story's played some second base when he came here to the Boston Red Sox. He looked pretty good at second base defensively. In fact, he was really good at second base defensively. Maybe this is the change he needs, right? We talked about how bad he's been at the plate. Another guy who's been really bad at the plate, who switched positions and really had a revival, was Javi Baez, right? He may have even been worse than Trevor Story at the plate over these past couple of years. The Tigers say, hey, look, dude, we can't have you at shortstop anymore. We're going to move you to center field. And all of a sudden, Javi Baez's entire mindset changes. Another good hitter in Major League Baseball again. Maybe something similar can happen to Trevor Story. At the bare minimum here, at least maybe he'll give you a little bit better defense. And then once again, you could shift, say, Don Rafael over to third base. You can move Marcel Meyer over to shortstop. You get that development of Marcel Meyer, and you get the development of Roman Anthony at the same time. Sounds like a win-win to me. I don't know. I don't hate this idea. And the third thing the Red Sox can do is they could sit there and they could say, look, Trevor, you're going to end up on the bench, right? We're just simply going to bench you. We don't want to DFA you. We don't want to lose all that money. We don't want to have you on the field every day. You're going to end up becoming sort of this platoon player. Maybe he plays a little bit with a tough lefty on the mound when Marcelo's hitting. Or maybe he comes in and he sort of helps platoon with Christian Campbell a little bit, or whoever's over at second base, right? Maybe you start to bring him more as a utility infielder than a everyday shortstop. At the bare minimum, it would prevent him from being in this lineup every day and causing so many issues throughout the season, right? I don't know. I don't love this idea, mostly because I think he'd just at this point be taking up space on the bench, right? You'd probably have to option Romy Gonzalez or David Hamilton or Nick Sogard, who have marginally, but still been better than Trevor Story has been at the plate so far this year, and honestly been better defensively than Trevor Story's been on the field this year. So that's an option as well. I don't love that one. One other thing that I've been seeing a lot on either Red Sox Twitter or YouTube in general with Robbie Hyde, our friend, saying, hey, what if we move Trevor Story over to first base? Now, when this first came up, I wasn't too thrilled about this one, right? I don't really know if Trevor Story would even make a good first baseman. It's a little bit more of a difficult transition for a 32-year-old to get over there and play first base. But at the same time, too, the more I think about it and the longer this season goes on and the more need there is just to simply see some sort of change here from the Boston Red Sox, I don't totally hate the idea anymore, right? I don't totally hate Trevor Story just taking some reps over there at first base to see if potentially this is something that may work out for the Red Sox. Again, it gives you the ability to get Roman Anthony up here. It gives you the ability to develop Marcelo Meyer as a shortstop. It gives you the ability to not have to move around Christian Campbell all over the place, right? I really don't hate this idea the longer I think about it. I just don't know if this is the immediate solution the Red Sox need, right? It's going to take some time for Trevor Story to learn first base if that's genuinely an option on the table here, which I don't think it is, because I feel like we would have heard about it already. Maybe you could combine some of these, right? Maybe you could move Trevor Story over to second base and then teach him first base while he's over there. Maybe you can bench Trevor Story and let him learn first base while he's on the bench, and that's an immediate solution. I don't know, right? I don't totally love this idea. I'm not totally opposed to it anymore either, though. If you want my opinion, not that anyone asked for it, my personal choice for the Red Sox right now would be to move him over to second base. To me, it feels like the easiest choice right now to at least get something different here in the Red Sox lineup. Again, I go back to how do you get Roman Anthony up here? Because if this team's going to suck, or it's not even going to suck, it's just going to sit in the middle of the pack here the entire year, at least if you're going to be a mid-nothing baseball team, because with a bad baseball team, at least you get storylines, right? And with a good baseball team, obviously all is good because you're winning baseball games. This middle ground is absolutely brutal. It would be a whole lot less brutal if you were at the same time developing your shortstop for the future, developing one of the best prospects in the sport in a very long time, and developing Christian Campbell while Carlos Narvaez is out, right? You'd have things to pay attention to with this Red Sox team if you were to move him over to second base. So in my opinion, it would be over to second base. But regardless, the Red Sox have to do something here. Right? They have to do something here. I understand he's a veteran. I understand he's a well-paid player. I understand he's a leader in this clubhouse. But at the same time, right now what matters is results on the field. Right now what matters is your win and loss column. And right now, Trevor Story is much more effective at giving the Red Sox losses than he is at giving the Red Sox wins, right? How many times has he come up in clutch situations and it's been a 3-pitch strikeout or a pop-up to third base? How many times this season have you sat there and said, man, Trevor Story not looking the same at shortstop this year, right? There's just been too many opportunities lost with Trevor Story in this lineup every single day, especially with him at shortstop. So something needs to be done from this Red Sox organization. This may be the option that they have, but that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think? Is this a move that needs to be made? Do you think it's as bad as I'm putting it out on paper? Do you think it's a little bit better? Do you think it's a little bit worse? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor. Make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. It just simply helps out a ton, and it's the best way to let me know you're enjoying the content. Don't forget, if you guys want to listen instead of watch these episodes, all you got to do is head over to your favorite podcasting app and look up Red Seat Radio. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. I will see you tonight, right around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and as always, in the Red Seats.